Hello students, welcome. In today's session, we will see the basics of operating systems. You have already studied operating system in the previous semesters. Let us recall it again in distributed computing. So, the basics of operating systems. So, what is a program? A program is an artifact constructed by a software developer using programming language. Program is an artifact. What is an artifact? Artifact is a created thing. So it is a created thing by a software developer. And what is a process? When a program is run or executed on a computer, it is represented as a process. So a running state of a program is called process. So what is the difference between program and process? So program is a passive entity and process is active entity. So when a program is in its execution state, it is called a process. Okay, so now this is a simplified state transition diagram of a process. Already you have seen in the operating system subject. So here, now let us recall it again. So when a program is at the start of its execution, it will be placed in a queue with other programs to be executed and will enter ready state. First it will be placed in a queue and the program will enter ready state. Okay, so when system resources such as CPU available, the process is dispatched and the process will enter the running state. After completion of its execution, it will terminate. But sometimes the process may have to wait for some event, for example input output event, and then it will enter blocked state. In normal programs you have seen, in output it will ask you to enter something, enter some digit or enter any alphabet, and until you enter the required thing, the process will be blocked or in a waiting state. After the completion of the event, the process will be placed on a queue. Then it enters ready state, and when CPU is available, the process will enter running state. The process repeats this ready, running, blocked state as many times as necessary until the execution of the process is complete, and at this state the process is said to be terminated. Okay, so this is about the various states of a process. So now in distributed computing, programs are written in Java. A Java program is compiled into bytecode. Bytecode is a universal code, object code. When run, the bytecode translated by Java Virtual Machine JVM, it's a software component, and bytecode it will translated from bytecode to machine code. So Java program, a source code is compiled into bytecode, and that bytecode is translated to machine code by JVM. A bytecode is an intermediate code, and that is the same regardless of machine types and translated into machine code at runtime. So this bytecode will be translated into machine code regardless of machine. So on any machine it will be executed. So therefore the Java programs are said to be platform independent. So you can run Java programs on any type of machines. Okay, so regardless of machine types, the bytecode can be translated into the machine code. So now the concurrent programming. What is concurrent programming? Concurrent programming means the simultaneous execution of processes. So there are three kinds of concurrent programming. So first one, concurrent processes executed on multiple computers. So separate processes running concurrently on separate independent computers interconnected via network. So here the processes interact with each other by exchanging data over network. Okay, So here the concurrent process is executed on a multiple computers. So here multiple computers are independent computers. They are connected through network. So the processes may run on all these multiple computers and they may interconnect by exchanging data over network. So here is one simple example, that web server and web browser and web server. Okay, so when these two are running on different machines, the web browser program and web server program running on different machines. So when you click on web browser searching for any web page, so it will send data to web server. So the two machines will run simultaneously and the web server will send the required page to web browser. So this is a type of concurrent program or concurrent processes on multiple computers. So next one, concurrent processes executed on a single computer. Okay, nowadays computers are supported by multitasking operating systems. Okay, it allows multiple tasks executed concurrently. So here multitasking may be real or virtual. Real multitasking means real multitasking is possible only on computers with multiple CPUs. When multiple CPUs are there, so multitasking may be possible. So that is real multitasking. So here one more, there is a virtual multitasking, that is on a computer it has only one CPU. Time sharing or time slicing is used to allow processes to take turns being executed. So here multiple tasks will be executed on a single CPU by using a technique called time sharing. So these processes will share CPU so that creating an illusion of multitasking. Okay, so next one, concurrent programming in a process. So a single program can initiate tasks that are to be executed concurrently. So concurrent programming within a program performed using two types. See here, concurrent programming in a process. A process may initiate tasks that are to be executed concurrently. So that there are using two types. The concurrent programming in a process is possible using two types, that is parent and child processes. A process may spawn a child. Process may spawn a child means process may create a child. Okay, the original process is called the parent process and it continues to run simultaneously with the child process. Parent process may create a child process. So parent process and child process, they will run concurrently. So it's a type of concurrent programming in a process. A child process is a complete process with its own state information, some of which inherited by the parent process. So the child process is same as parent process. It will have some state information. State information, like already we have seen, state may be ready state or terminated or blocked, like that. Okay, the state information, and it may be inherited by the parent process. So here in this diagram there is a parent process and child processes. They are executing simultaneously. And here one more is there, thread. A process may spawn child threads, a main thread, child thread 1 and child thread 2. Okay, these child threads are executing simultaneously. So here threads. So what is a thread? A process may spawn a thread, also known as lightweight process. Threads carry minimum information. Okay, a process may spawn a thread. Process may create a thread, also known as what is a thread? Thread is a lightweight process. So what is the difference between thread and child then? So thread is a lightweight process. It carries minimum information, and child carries almost all the information of parent process, but threads carry a minimum information. So now the concurrent execution of a threads may result in a race condition. Race condition occurs when a series of commands in a program executed in parallel. So here in concurrent programming means it's a parallel execution of processes. The concurrent execution of threads in a multi-threaded programming, the concurrent execution of threads may result in a race condition. That means race condition, it is the unrealistic output. Race condition means unrealistic or non-deterministic output. It will result in race condition. Okay, unreliable output. Which one? The multi-threading will result in a race condition. That means non-deterministic output. The race condition occurs when a series of commands in a program executed in parallel. So these race conditions can be avoided. So race condition will result in a non-deterministic output. So this can be avoided if mutual exclusion is provided to a code segment. Okay, such a code segment is called a critical region. So where this the mutual exclusion is avoided, provided to a code segment. Why this mutual exclusion? To avoid race condition. So where this race conditions occur in a multi-threaded programming. Multi-threaded programming, they run simultaneously. When the threads run simultaneously, it may occur in race condition. So race condition will cause some non-deterministic outputs. So to avoid that, a mutual exclusion can be provided. What is a mutual exclusion? Mutual exclusion is a code segment. So for in a multi-threaded program, you will have to write a mutual exclusion code to avoid race condition. So such a code region is called critical region. Code segment is called a critical region. So a multi-threaded program that is written to guard against race condition is said to be thread safe. So multi-threaded program that is written to guard against race condition is called thread safe. That means the threads, it will run safely without causing a race condition. So how it is possible? If you add a mutual exclusion code segment, if you add a mutual exclusion code segment to your multi-threaded programming, so it is thread safe. It is called thread safe. Okay.